Right, here we are again, a bit better conditions than the last two times. Top at Snake Pass, A57, so you've got Glossop about 3 miles to the west. Lady Bower and Bamford, Sheffield, etc. But Lady Bower's about 8 miles, 7, 8 miles down the A57 that way. That's looking south on the Pennine Way. So you've got Kinder Scout. On the end of Kinder Scout there on this west shoulder is 2 Sabre wrecks. And on there is Mill Hill and there's a Liberator bomber. Today though, we just doing a refilm and a rerun on this, giving a few better directions, because I've had various people asking this route and it's not, you know, a picture paints 1,000 words and all that. So, as I say, we're starting, it's about a 6 mile loop we're doing. I'm just doing an extension to it as well. Head north, which I say Glossop is that away. So you look to your right if you're coming over towards Glossop, and obviously to your left if you're coming from Glossop. There you go, so sorry, A57 through the gate. We've got this graded path for quite a while. It goes up here, comes to a crossroads called Doctor's Gate, and then carries on. Where we're going though is we're going to do a circular route, 3 wrecks, 2 waterfalls. So I'm going to come up the Pennine Way about 400 or 500 metres, and then I'm going to turn left onto Doctor's Gate, which is going to take me just over this crest here and down. So I'm going to go about a mile from the road, from the gate, before I go. Now if you can see over there, see if you can see on my screen from where I'm actually pointing to, there's 2 cloughs. There's White Clough and then the next clough is Ashton Clough, and if you can see over there, there's a colour change. There's like a darker green bracken up the steep bank. So what I've got to do is go up here, turn left down Doctor's Gate about a mile. It drops you to the base of Ashton Clough, which is where we're going. You've got to drop off the path, jump the stream, and then basically head up the clough. Now it's a sort of stepped clough, it's not too bad. There's a couple of little waterfalls you've got to sort of scramble up the side of and up, etc. So it's not the easiest, it's not overly challenging, but you know, just be aware if you're going to attempt it, it's not straightforward, but not too difficult either. When you get to the last part of the wreck, which obviously I'll describe when I get there, you break out the clough and up that very steep grass bank. That puts you up to a fence line, and then you've got that second bit of a hill on top, that's James Thorn. So when you come out the clough, you go up onto the fence line. Again, I'll point all these out when I get to them. There's 2 more sections of Dakota on the fence line. You then cross up onto that second hill, just go diagonally up from where the fence is, puts you on top, and I can actually see it from here. There's a scar on the curl of the hill, very top of the hill, right away it sort of starts to dip. There's a scar there, and that's the Lancaster. There's not actually much debris there, but the big scar, what the impact made, and let's say debris and a bit of like a memorial stone for both, actually, the Lancaster and the Dakota, which is only 200 metres away from it. Then over the top of that, again, I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, there's like a colour change right on the summit about halfway across the top. That's sort of where the path cuts across, so you're going to go across to there. I'm going to carry on over to Yellowslacks to the waterfall, and then come back off piste over. But if you just want to make it a 3 wreck circular, do the bit I'm doing, down Doctor's Gate, up Ashton Clough, pick up all the Dakota, onto James Thorn for the Lancaster, just go across the top to where that colour changes again, and then turn right and follow the path. Bit of a boggy path, but path nonetheless. Takes you up to lower shelf stones. From there you should see higher shelf stones, which is the trig point, highest point on this area. And then 100 metres from the trig point, just on the shoulder where it's dipping down, is the Superfortress. And then you come back down this side of the hill, jump over, there's another waterfall down there, and that puts you back along Crooked Clough and onto the Pennine Way. So here we are, Doctor's Gate. Pennine Way continues. Turn right, it takes you about half a mile to a lay-by on the corner on the A57. We're going to turn left and go along here. Just coming to the crest of the hill, just on Doctor's Gate. There's a bit of a cairn here and a path what curls off to your right. If you take that path, that also puts you onto Crooked Clough. Just makes it a slightly different way to get. So you come on to Doctor's Gate, and before you start to drop substantially, because I say that'll take you up there and across onto that shoulder. I'm just going down here following Doctor's Gate path, winds around that face there, and I'm going up that second clough where that sort of landslide is, just to the right of that. So you just stay on this path basically till you get to that point. Gets a little bit squidgy here, or it can do, or it has done in the past. And you've got all this sort of marshy stuff, but obviously people just keep going higher and higher and higher to avoid it, including myself. So this is Crooked Clough still. I'm still on Doctor's Gate, and now we've come to your first offshoot clough. So that's White Clough. So that rock outcrop is lower shelf stones, that rock outcrop and the trig point is higher shelf stones, and then the Superfortress is 100 metres that away from that rock outcrop. So we're going to stay on here just a little while, not too far, and then we're going to drop off the path and find somewhere to jump the stream. Well, that's sort of mucher and muchness where you go for that. But yeah, just down there, effectively go across the stream over to that fence line, just follow across. There's a stile just there, which is where I'm heading for. So however you get to that is your choice. Now if you look over there, shows you how clear it is today relative to the last couple of times I've been, because that's Manchester. Skyscrapers over yonder. You gotta try and break your way down to the stream. It's usually about there, I think, where I jump, but I normally say just go over that way and work my way back. Of course, this is likely to be quite sort of marshy. In fact, looks like there's a tread there what people's gone, so I might take that. But that's the clough we're going up, Ashton Clough. So I say we're just on Doctor's Gate, come around this corner. If you carry on, you come to a bridge and it take you down below the benches and drop you down to the bottom of the Snake Pass and down into Glossop. Obviously we're not doing that. I'll trust this attempted path what somebody's flagged and see where that goes, but all roads lead down to the stream, so mucher and muchness. So you just gotta watch where there's dips and heavy ferns, because there's likely to be water at some point. You just have to watch your footing. Yes, you never know what's under your feet at this section. Right here, there's a prime suspect for a stream under my feet. You can hear it. And you can hear water. Can't see water, but can hear water. I have to just, leap of faith. We dropped off Doctor's Gate, which is just above me. So just pedal my way down here. Just got to find a way to get over the stream now. Alright, something like stepping stones here I can probably use if I can get to them again without overstepping the bank. Ooh, it's not that stable. But the path comes up here. I've just come across the fence line to the stile, across the stile, and then basically we're going straight up the middle. So about this second tree, there should be a first section of debris. Just gotta meander my way up through this lot and watch for little streamlets not to put my foot in. It's path's been quite opened up now. It's obviously a bit more popular up here nowadays than it ever used to be. Used to be quite a mission fighting through up bracken, but now there's a definite path going up. There you are, stuck in ground. First section of debris, a bit like corrugated sheeting. Then you just got to make your way up, and there's various little waterfalls. In this case, you just go up the side of it. Then there's an engine up there, and then there's a couple more waterfalls you've got to scale. Some are a little bit trickier than others, but nothing dramatic, as long as you don't fall in, of course, which changes the game entirely. I need to get some sort of hands-free thing for this GoPro. Sometimes I need two hands. Just in the stream bed, about there. There's one of the engines. Again, first bit of wreckage is just below that tree, so only this high up the gully at the minute. And the path carries on up the left, so you just follow it around. Again, you come across these things, you think, oh crap, there's a path going upside of it. So, not too dramatic. This used to be on top of in a pool above there, then it was down here, and now it's there. Again, another bit of a waterfall, but just take it up the side. No biggie. Watching for the nettles, just making sure you've got a footing. Now that piece of debris there, I was used to be in this pond here. I tell definitely more people are coming up. Bit of a path along top, you know, we had to fettle across this fall. Probably won't see it on the GoPro. I just took a photo of it from here, so obviously I'll get to it in a bit. But just there on that bank, there's a section of debris there. Now I never knew that were there, even when I found all this lot in the gully. I think the first couple of times I came this way, I actually carried on past the last bit of debris known, and then I went up inside the actual cut to the right. I think I went up that way and then along the fence line, so I never actually broke out. It weren't until I was looking on Google Earth that I saw this section actually on the side. I thought, eh? Never seen that before, but you can literally see it as you're walking up the bloody clough. Well, again, for me, it could be a rock, it could be out. If you're not sure what you're looking for, you're not going to pay that much attention as you're climbing up. You're sort of looking down, looking for wreckage rather than up at that stage of the game. But that's where we break out, so we've got to go up this far and then break out, and that puts us to that bit of wreck and then up the side. Yes, yeah, again, it's quite dry today, so it's not a major issue, but this, when it's cascading, these rocks can get obviously quite wet and quite slippy. There's various sort of ways you can sort of a bit of a climb out on this side, or go up the rocks itself, or up, you know, further right. But it's nothing too dramatic. No doubt I'll slip in to prove a point when I get to it. It shouldn't be too bad today. Again, I'm one-handed because I've got a camera. But if I can do it with one hand, it's obviously not that bad. Right, one piece undercarriage. I can just see Doctor's Gate right down the base there. Which is alright, so coming to the end of the actual clough bit that we're interested in. So another section here, a little bit of whatever, and then there's a largish section of fuselage, I guess, half buried. Follow the little path what goes up around it, about 50 feet. You can see where the soil is, and you basically break out there, or anywhere here really, but you break out there and up over this bit of a bank, and just over the nib there, 50 meters, is that piece what's on the side, a section of like undercarriage, and then you'll see the path what takes you all the way up the very steep banking. Well, that's effectively Ashton Clough. Again, a few other little bits, again like I was saying, in the stream and over there, and then that's pretty much it for that one. A little bit of a mini scramble. To this bad boy. So here we are, top of Ashton Clough, top section of fuselage. I was going to say it better from the other side, but when you get here, a bit of a path runs up the left, and then you break out and scramble up this side banking. That large section of debris is straight below me, so I've just gone left a little bit, carried on up a little bit, and then break out up onto this side bank to this, and then you can see where it's been walked, and it'll take you up to this colour change which you can see front road once you know what you're looking at. So you got all that bracken and up this bank. It's quite steep, but stop as many times as you want and you get to the top eventually. Seat car for me. Section of undercarriage on the side bank, and then you're on this steep bank. When you get up near the top, it curls around to the right to show to the fence line, fence lines up there, but obviously it carries on along the top of here, and then the 2 more bits of Dakota up there, and then James Thorn straight in front of you. That's where the Lancaster is. To find the sort of grab me goal. Ow. That rattle machine. The style there. So yeah, so just come up there, over this fence line, turn left, and push you to another debris pool of the Dakota. And then just after that is another debris pool of a Dakota. So that's it now. We're on the sort of plateau. So I'm just going up here now. I'm going to bit of a tread up there, look. So I'm going to cut diagonally up the side of the hill. That puts me onto the intersected path. Turn right will put me to the big scar. Again, you can see the scar from the road once you know what to look for. And if the lighting's right and everything, it shines up quite well once you know. And say, you've got your Dakota here, Dakota there. If you're just doing it as a loop, you come to these, up to Lancaster, across the top, and then it puts you to a path. 2 people over there just walking on it. It takes you across this plateau. Bit of a boggy section, but not too bad today. I want to go up that bit of a hill to lower shelf stones, and then over in the distance of that is higher shelf stones, and then just after that is the Superfortress. So you can do it the way I've done, from the car, down here, up Ashton Clough, up to the Lancaster, and then back across there to the Superfortress, and then back down onto the Pennine Way, whichever way you want, and then back to the car. That makes about a 5-mile circuit, and it picks up all the debris for all 3 wrecks. And here we are at the Lancaster Memorial, and the huge scar, I say, you can see from the road if you know what you're looking at. You can see it from the road if you don't know what you're looking at, but you don't know you're looking at it. So it says literally, there's the car. And from there, on a day like today, you're looking at the Superfortress, high shelf stones, lower shelf stones, James Thorn, which is what I'm on now. Lancaster crash site, James Thorn. Not much in the way of debris, but this huge scar was where the Lanc took the top off. Sort of small debris pool. And then just molten steel everywhere. Lancaster's there, you see the path. Take the right hand fork as you're coming away from the Lanc, bring you to this. Again, you can see this from the road. When you're looking from there, you'll see the curl, you can see the scar of the Lancaster across this plateau on this section, second little hill, and you can see this step sort of thing. But anyway, that's the intersection to the path. So if I was going to go back to the Superfortress now, or over to the Superfortress, get to this path, follow it round, bit of a bog, but it's not too bad like today. Just curl it round, it'll take you up onto lower shelf stones, carry on over to higher shelf stones, trig, carry on over 100 metres from there to the Superfortress. So say normally to go back to the Superfortress, etc., go right. I'm just going to keep left again, just along the top of James Thorn, and then I'm going to more or less contour around. I'll just drop off the side here a little bit. The path does continue down, it takes you down to the benches and everything. I'm heading, that's Yellowslacks Dowstone Clough over there, that's where I'm heading for. So it's like half a mile detour and then off piste back to high shelf stone. Just gone around the perimeter of that basically, and just meander his way over to this bit of a corner of Yellowslacks Dowstone Clough. So it comes, follow that along, it takes you to Hernstones. That's the waterfall. Not too much dropping down it, as I say. And if you come up from the base, there's no real path as such, so it's a scramble up the river or up the very steep sides to make a path yourself. Bonus fan 10p, makes it all worthwhile. My plan at the minute, I've got to go across this flank what I'm on now. I'll make a decision if I'm going down to the falls. Looking at the amount of water, I'm probably not. I've been to it before when there's been a lot better than that. I'll take a few photos from here and then just skate across the top. It'll save me that little bit of time as well. But you just drop down, you'll see like a landslide. I'll point it out a bit more when I get to about 150 metres, and then you just sort of scramble down the side. It drops you to the base of the falls. A little bit sketchy but doable. And then obviously once you've done faffing with cameras and that, add your cup of tea, you then scramble back out again and push it back onto this side, and then where you go from there, you can either backtrack and along back onto James Thorn, carry on along. It's a little bit rough and ready pathwise initially, takes you over towards Hernstones. As I say, I'm going to find somewhere basically an intersect and go across the top off piste. So I'll be heading over there and head back towards Shelf Stones, Trig Point, and then down to the fortress. Right, here we are. So I was just over at that corner. That's the end basically of this lump. So I curled down from James Thorn over there, contoured around, push it to a corner, and then just come across this top, and then you get this landslide. Well, there's two like gullies, sort of left and right, and then this little bit of an island down the middle. So effectively the waterfall's down there, and you can see the sort of pool, creamy water where it's splashed back in. And you drop down this island, scramble down there, and you can drop in various sort of places. I think I normally go a bit further down near the bottom there and then drop in, and then scramble down the rest of the way and then reverse back up. So there's just not enough water going over it today to make it worth the effort really, but that's where you go. I'm heading now, say for Trig Point, so I want to be heading sort of that away, probably half a mile. So I'll see what I can see. Last time I was over here I was in the cloud, so we're definitely on a bearing, but today there's reasonable visibility. Nowhere roughly in the middle of. Now this riverbed is sort of meandering that way at the moment. I think what I'll do is I'll drop back down into this. It's a bit easier walking while it's going in generally the right direction, and then if need be I'll pop my head out in a bit just to verify. still in the middle of nowhere. And there we have a trig point. Impress me sense sometimes. So close and yet so far. That's where I want to be. That's what we've got to get across. Kill that round. I'm not going to attempt to tiptoe through that lot. Yeah, so that's lower shelf stones from the other side. Lancaster's over that onto James Thorn, so I went up there over to James Thorn. I've been right round yonder and then over the top instead of coming up this way. So we get to lower shelf stones and then higher shelf stones, and that Superfortress is just down there 100 metres. So high shelf stones trig point, and then just head down the sort of little gullies about 100 metres, 120 metres, avoiding the substantial peat bog if you can. So I'll do a 360 run through it, hopefully there's not too many people. Right, so I've just done a 360 through to Superfortress, but all the Superfortress debris is just up there in this gully. You follow it down and you come to this tank here. That's the last section of it. It's literally just down the natural gully, so if you follow the debris down all the way, just naturally down, 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 and you come to that bit. Now then you come to this bit of a lump in front of you. Now there's a path going both ways. So if you take the left path, will take you over naturally to Allport Low, which takes you down there. You have to jump a few bogs and things, but it takes you onto that strip, what takes you straight across there. You have to drop down and onto the right hand side and follow that. It's like a path what takes you all the way over to the Pennine Way and there. So that I call route 2. I'm going back route 1. Again, my terminology, nobody else's. So again, when you get to this lump, if you turn left you go to Allport Low. If you turn right, and they both curl around at the same place, onto the same flank, but this will put you onto a more natural path to where I want to be without bog hopping too much. All you're doing is curling around it, so that's where I've just come from. So I'm going round to the right instead of round to the left. As I say, when I just get around here, you'll see both sets of paths. But that if you've gone left around this lump, it just drop you down there, more down off the Clough and up that path over to the Pennine Way. I'm heading that way, so that's why I've come right on that path. It puts you onto a more natural path going that direction, and I think it's because there's a bit of marshy terrain in the middle, so if you try to break between them, you can get into peat bog central. So just follow these trods down. You'll see there, look where it's been walked going over. So what you're doing is heading down there. See that bit of a peninsula, a bit of an island. So I've got to drop down, jump the stream, over the top, jump the stream, and then, well, as I say, there is a path now going across the top to it, but I'm going to go across. So I'm on the left flank of the Crooked Clough. Down to there's a gully. That's normally where I turn, or you can carry on, and that puts you to Doctor's Gate. Just got to get down to the path I want, which I think I've just deviated off of slightly. There it is. But yeah, I mean, on a normal day you can see car, so you see where you've got to head to. So as long as you're heading that way eventually, then you're good to go. But say 2 weeks ago, we're in the cloud all week. So I'm heading, I say there's a path here that diverts over to take you to Bleaklow, but you've got to jump through bogs and stuff. So I'm going to curl right, stay on this. I'm heading for that bit of a peninsula down there, which I say is all good when you can see where you're going, but you bypass all this marshland in the process, because that will be squidgy in there, guaranteed. Just finding somewhere to get across this bog fest now. Is that more viable? Possibly. Yeah. Well, there should be, just coming into view, a waterfall, a bit like that one. Right, so this is the end of the gully for Route 1, the short gully from the Pennine Way, about 120 metres that away. You come along the gully, it opens up to Crooked Clough, so you come to a fence line. But yeah, you come down this gully, the end of it's just there, turn right when you get to the fence. So watch your footing, it can get muddy, like this. And that there is the Pennine Way. So there are the cars. It's about half a mile. .22 miles, 4 hours 21 minutes.